Big O Show. This is the 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 Big O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Link, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Link. Be the maestro of your own home.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our All-Stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website, to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24.
Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. We're coming to you live from, of course, the amazing, the fantastic Hialeah Park. Having some fun out here. We're in the poker room. That's what she said. And we'll be out here for a couple of hours having some fun. Folks are enjoying a little poker and watching sporting events around the country, racing around the country, because you can also wager on all the tracks here, all kinds of stuff. So we'll have a little fun with that on the show. What else? We got the great Sean Stanley He is mastering the entire platform. We've got David Furones going to join us. Also, talk a little football. I got a draft question for him that he can ponder and answer for us. See if we'll see if we can surprise him with this. See if he's ready for it. You know what I'm saying? It's a little early for it, but you can kind of ask for it at this point because they're not going to be much. They're not going to be much players in free agency. There's no reason to. But anyway, so we will talk to Furones here. Steve Calabro is not going to join us today. He'll stop by on Friday on the show. He's in a meeting today, so we'll meet up with him later on, and have some fun with him. So a lot of stuff going on in the world of sports. The Heat last night. It's a sad state, man, that we're watching the decline of a franchise. We're watching an ownership that is no longer truly committed to doing what it really takes in order to win and really willing to go through the pain that you have to go through. I think Riley's hands are tied to a certain extent. Maybe also he's caught up with his old ways and it's caught up to him now. You know what I mean? It just kind of happens this way. There's an evolution in sports, and not everybody is able to stay all the way through. Look, Pete Carroll, he looked out of place, right? It happens. And the decline of the Miami Heat starts at the top. It's the reason why other ownerships like the Dolphins or the Marlins are constantly failures, because of your ownership. And now the Miami Heat is a mediocre team because of their ownership. It is what it is, dude. You know what I mean? The first couple of years, Inter Miami wanted to be really good from the get-go. They went and bought players, and they were mediocre. And that wasn't good enough. And those crazy bastards did everything they had to do in order to change it. And cheating and everything, yeah. Cheating, whatever it took. You know what I'm saying? And just like Stephen Ross, they got busted cheating. And they overcame that too. You know, it just it shows you that the Miami Heat have completely lost their way. And it took some of you a while to figure out what Bam Adebayo is, or that this is not the way to go. But I think most people now are figuring it out. And they're figuring it out. What they have to do is tear it completely down, and they're not willing to do it. Look, dude, the Yakuchonis kid played again well yesterday. I mean, that's what it should be about. It shouldn't be about the progress stoppers. Yesterday, you played a team that's trying to tank. They asked the coach after the game, were you close to putting Markkanen in? And no. We're trying to lose, dude. You know, we gave him 25 minutes because, we got to give him a little bit of a workout. Because that's what they're doing with their good players. They're just giving them a workout every night. They're not going to play to win. Hey, you guys go play 20, 25 minutes. We got to keep you in shape. Then you can sit. It's like a great year for Laurie. It's ridiculous. It really is what's happened to the Miami Heat. And the fact that they're this stubborn is disgusting. Because you were talking about a billionaire. So you're going to make a little less money, dude? Really? Is that the penny? That's what I'm telling you, while Mickey's been a great owner, because a 25-year run was amazing, it's interesting how they've all of a sudden become cheap and frugal and not willing to take any chances and all that kind of stuff. And it's sad. It's sad.
because they're no longer ever going to be elite again. Those days of being elite, it's over for the Miami Heat. I had some idiot on Twitter. I didn't even bother to, respond to him because it's just so stupid. Oh, Spo has lost the team. And I'm like, I looked at that. I'm like, why am I going to waste this time with this moron? And to listen to Spo after the game, have to try to sell you bullshit. It's sad. It's sad. Oh, these guys came in with the right intent, and we're close, and I can feel it, and this, and he's saying what he has to say. He can't say, "Hey, this roster isn't that good. We'll be lucky to be a play-in team, and we'll be even luckier to survive the play-in. And this is who we are. This is what we've been." He's not going to say it. He's not going to trash him and everybody else in the front office and ownership at the same time. It's not what they do. Do you think they're not mother effing each other behind the scenes? They have to be. They have to be. They're failures again and again and again because they're ignorant, because they refuse to learn, because they refuse to adjust to the way things are done in this league. Meanwhile, Detroit is passing them by. They went young. They're the number 1 seed. OKC and San Antonio are number 1, number 2 over, and they did the same thing. They all tore it down, got young picks, came back. It worked out for Houston. It's worked out for a bunch of teams. The lazy shit is to point to Philadelphia every time. Okay, it didn't work for Philadelphia. That's their problem. But a bunch of other teams, it's gotten them better. And they refuse to go in that direction. Orlando, it's gotten better for them. That's just the way it is. The stars are not going to be available. And this whole bullshit about, they'll try to get another fourth first-round pick in the offseason and to go back for Giannis. And it's like, how dumb can you be? You're going to give up all your assets and you still don't have enough around Giannis to win. Like, really? It's mind-boggling how you go from being an impeccable franchise that makes all the right decisions to a franchise that can't make any right decisions. It's weird, man. It's weird. It's frustrating. But, if you ever think the Heat are ever going to be elite again, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. They are done. They are done. And they refuse to go in the direction that they're supposed to. And every year, they ruin their opportunity to get more picks. Like, they could have gotten a boatload of picks for Jimmy Butler, and they failed. And they're going to do the same thing. They're going to hang on to Bam. And they probably could have gotten 2, maybe 3 first-rounders for Bam, because some team that's really close will give the 2 first-rounders for Bam. So for him to be the number 3 on their team and support the 2 stars and do everything else like he is a super role player. You know what I mean? It's like, it's funny because I think everybody knows the word super role player by now in town, right? And then when I hear people talk about Bam, they try to describe him. No longer anybody says star franchise, but I can sense it in them that they're dying to all say super role player, but they can't because, that would be crediting yours truly at the same time. But you can sense it in them like, yep, no, he actually nailed it. That's what he is. He's a super role player. And that's what he is, dude. And you have a chance and you're just letting him get old right in front of you. Tyler got healthy for a year. That was the time to get off the gravy train. Pure stupidity. Here we are again. Why? Because no, he's turned the corner. He's going to stay healthy now and all that. And our boy Ira bought the same bullshit with Tyler. No. He wanted to hang on to him also. And that was basically everybody on the beat, pretty much. We're fans, but we have to be objective and we have to kind of compartmentalize the beautiful word we love to use here on the show. And you really have to say, okay, as painful as it is, it's time now to part ways. And you got to know when to say when. As that beer company, I don't know when it was, what beer company used to say, know when to say when. You think Coors? But there was a beer company that had know when to say when. So, Michelob? Michelob? I'm going to go Michelob, you say Coors. All right? You will tell us. Ooh, Bush. Bush. No. Okay. So it was, because they have a whole bunch of brands. So Anheuser-Busch reminds you, know when to say when. Okay, I got it. That makes sense. Yeah, because they have a bunch of massive beers, Anheuser-Busch. So then they just wanted to, in general, hey, know when to say when. Okay, I got it now. That makes sense. I like that. But anyway, what I don't like is I feel bad, man. And I feel bad for Spo because he's got to be some kind of a salesman now for this. You know, it's sad, man. Sad. Yakuchonis played well, 32 minutes, 20 points, 6 of 10 from 3-point range. Bam scored 23 points on 8 of 18, 1 of 5 shooting. He was good at the free throw line, 11 rebounds. The team missed a lot of free throws. He had 5 assists, but he had 4 turnovers also, which is not good. Wiggins had 26 points, 5 rebounds, a block. It's just, and just to lose it there at the end too, and just, oh man, tough. Anyway, tomorrow they'll take on Fat Boy and the Pelicans at 8:00, and then they got the All-Star break after that. Is Fat Boy playing, or is he out, or what? I don't know. He's played some this year. He's played actually some this year. I got to say. He's played a couple games. I think he's back, right?
He got 27 minutes, 18.6 assists, 5 rebounds against the Kings
yesterday. Yeah. So he's back. So yeah. So we'll see Fat Boy tomorrow with the Pelicans. Fly, Pelican, fly. There you go. Maybe the Heat will trade for him next year. I mean, right, he's healthy for the moment. Yeah, they could trade him straight up for Tyler Hero. What the hell? That's what they can do. Crazy, dude. I feel bad. I feel bad for Heat fans. The good thing is we had our 25-year run. That's the good thing. We had our run. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were living through it. The Zoe and Timmy years all the way through the big three. I hope you were able to live through that because that was awesome. That was an awesome stretch of basketball. And we will never experience that stretch of basketball ever again. That is over. Done. That magic is gone. So that's why I told you this about the Panthers last year. Appreciate every moment of it because you never know when it ends. And look, right now for the Panthers, it's definitely coming to an end this year. And we'll see if they can recapture it next year. But it's hard, man. It's really, really hard. Really hard. And when you experience things like this that are once in a lifetime, that your football team goes to 3 straight Super Bowls and you win 2 of them, or your basketball team wins 3 championships in a stretch of 10 years, or 8 years maybe is what it was. These are things. Your baseball team wins 2 World Series in 6 years. I can guarantee you, we will never see that again. Okay. I can guarantee you we will never see 2 World Series in 6 years again. We won't see 1, but, like any lucky thing can happen in the world that, whatever, but it's over, bro. So these are things like it sucks, man. Yeah.
They say never, but on that one, I think we can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
One time you can say it.
That's guaranteed. That's guaranteed, bro. I mean, dude, how do you compete with the Dodgers anyways? And they just loaded up more this offseason. It's like, it's ridiculous. Lisa Rose is just like,
We spent $19 million in free agency this year. All right.
They just signed a pitcher for like $4 million. That's like big spending for us, you know?
The closer was $13 million. This guy was $4 million. So everybody else makes up the $2 million.
Yeah. And Sandy will be traded once he gets in a groove.
Yes, once he's in a groove.
Like, he wasn't good enough last year to trade, so the offers were like, But once he gets back in a groove, the offers will be.
Yeah, but that's where the Marlins are what you want the Heat to be. They know when to get off. Believe it or not, the Marlins are the team that knows when to get off of.
Right, because they get off the point that they can't afford.
Yeah.
Okay, he's playing too good. We can't afford him. Trade him, because next year we're gonna have to pay him a whole bunch. Yeah, you got to unload, or do the Loria thing where you gave him a $100 million contract, but 98 of it is paid in the last 2 years of the deal. The first 4 years the guy makes $500,000 a year. So it's kind of like wow, Loria went out and spent. No, actually, he really didn't spend. Oh man. So embrace it, enjoy it whenever it happens. Like what's going on now with Inter, like enjoy it. The Moss brothers aren't going to be around forever, and you don't know who takes over. And so that's the other thing I've learned, right? Robbie had his run, and then nobody matched it. Harrison had his run. Now he can't even come close to anything that he did before. This is kind of the way it goes. And I don't know if this is Viola's best stretch right now, but it's pretty freaking good, bro. It's pretty freaking good. Yeah, it's hard to beat or how you continue because those men are beat up and beaten down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, for the Panthers, and the one thing with the Panthers, it might be a better thing for them to completely miss the playoffs. This might be for rest purposes, mentally, physically, have the whole long off season, and then come back hungry and fresh. And like for me, I'm all right with the Panthers completely. I almost think it would be a curse for them to make the playoffs because they're so beaten up and injured. It's hard for them to overcome all this. And so why are you going to take more punishment? Just call it a year, man.
Yeah, if I'm them at this point, I know they won't do it because that's not in their DNA or anything. Or hockey players.
Yeah, hockey players.
I would have Kachuk out, or at least maybe play once a week or whatever the thing's going to be. And
there's no load management.
No, I know there's not, but this is where you protect the player from himself because again, you get hot, great, and now you're going to go into the playoffs, and then if you stay hot, you make another deep run for again next year. Now it's like again, it's one of those things to where I don't think they got it. I think it was like when they come back from the break, they have to go 26-1 or something. They have to get 40 points at least. At the same time, in the same amount of games, Boston just needs 32.
Right.
So you're looking at and everybody above them was playing better than expected, including Tampa Bay at one point. I think they were 19-1-1 in 21 games. I mean, it's just they're playing better, and the Panthers are injured and playing worse, and now you're just got away from them.
By the way, you could get $500 off there at Subaru Pembroke Pines. You can use that QR code, or when you go there to purchase a vehicle, lease it, tell them, hey, Big O send me, I get $500 off, and they'll give it to you. The BRZ and the Ascent 2025 right now, you can get 1.9% financing for 75 months. That's crazy. And you make no payments for 90 days. That's bitching right there. How about the Forester? $249 a month, 0.9% financing, no payments for 90 days. And that is, of course, totally awesome right there. The 2026 Outback Premium, $299 a month, 3.9% financing, 0% down. Make no payments for 90 days. That's rad, bro. Let's go. How about the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Base? 2026, right? Or no, is it? Yeah, 2026. Got to check my eyes. $169 a month, 2.9% financing, 0 down, make no payments for 90 days. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. 0 payments for 90 days. That's 0 down payment option. Take advantage, bro. Take advantage. 2025 Subaru Forester Premium Hybrid, $199 a month. That is tubular right there. 0% financing, 0 down payment option. You got 0 payments for 90 days. Subarus are built here in the United States. The Impreza 2026 Sport, $214 a month, 3.9% financing, 0 payments for 90 days. That's fire right there, baby. The WRX 2025, $2,000 customer lease cash, 0% financing available, 0 payments for 90 days. The options are there, man. Eric Stampone, tell him that Big O sent you. Alan does excellent work. He is the general manager there. He is awesome. At 16100 Pines Boulevard, it is Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Let's see. Let's go. All right, here we go. What do we have here on the super chat? Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Says Super Bowl 100 will be in 2066. I'll be 75. I'll be dead. I'll be dead. There's no way I make it to 2066. There's no way, dude. Unless they come up with some shit there that, kind of fixes your genes and your chromosomes and everything else and your genetics and everything and just like makes you younger or something. Yeah. Well, 2066. That's 40 years from now. Yeah, no, dude. I'm 59. I'll be 109. 109? Yeah, no. Yeah. 109. The worst part is the Dolphins won't make the Super
suck.
That's the worst part. That the Dolphins still won't make the Super Bowl by then, dude. I'm just kind of I've resigned to the fact that no, what's that? Yeah. No. Oh, the new Super Bowl logo? Okay, why? What's the big deal? LIX. It's not LIV, would be live. And live is no longer in the stadium, right? I think. I don't know. Actually, I think they took it out, if I'm correct. Well, it should be 60. Oh, this was 60, right? Because I'll be 60. So it's always like right ahead of me. Right. It turns 60 and I turn 60. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. LXI with the wave. Yeah. Oh, because the colors are kind of dolphin-like colors. Yeah.
We're going, baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, on a rebuild.
The NFL's like, we got to give the Dolphins something. All right, we'll give them the color of the logo. Their fans will be happy.
What? Well, they did that up because of the surf and the sand, just like us, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's at SoFi next year.
Right. Okay. LA. That'll be a crazy week there in LA. That'll be a crazy ass week, dude. Anyway. By the way, I guess the crazies didn't stop Bad Bunny from dominating. The most watched halftime show ever, 135 million viewers. It beat Kendrick Lamar's, which was the most last year at 133.5 million viewers. So I guess the NFL did the right thing and brought in, and I checked the YouTube video. It was at 54 million when I posted it earlier this morning, that it was at 54 million already, because it was like at 24 when I checked it yesterday. So it had doubled. Let me see where it's at here. I guess I passed it up. Let's see. I know I have it there. I posted it. Oh, well, I know that the video is like it is kicking ass. So he's approaching 200 million views. What? It's at 57 now. There you go. When I last checked, it was 54 this morning. It already added 3 more million. So that's 192 right now. Got 192 million views. So and meanwhile, Kid Rock was pre-recorded. It was lip synced. It was cheap. It was bogus, and it was outdrawn by the Puppy Bowl. I'm guilty. I stopped for 3 minutes with the wife for the Puppy Bowl, and I couldn't watch anymore. And I love dogs, but it was.
Dude, that's a household every year. We're watching that, the Lombardi Trophy. I mean,
that's what it's called, the Lombardi.
Yeah, the Lombardi.
I did stop for 3 minutes.
Oh,
I go, I'm going to see the Puppy Bowl again for a minute.
Our
here.
dogs go bananas in there. Our dogs just start jumping around, and yeah, they love it. So
the Puppy Bowl dogged Kid Rock. That is awesome. It bitch slapped Kid Rock. I'm sure if you go to the YouTube video of the Puppy Bowl, there's probably, I didn't even check that. The video for the Puppy Bowl, it probably has more views on top of all of that, just like Bad Bunny. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I posted it earlier today. I'm old, bro. I've been around for a while. So you have these crazy conservatives, right? They got all crazy about Bad Bunny, and they thought he was going to come out in a dress. Yeah. So I posted today, because I'm old. Milton Berle used to be in a dress all the time and makeup, and nobody ever said anything because he was entertaining, comedian, whatever, So whether you're an artist or you're a comedian or you're an actor or whatever, you're entertaining. And that's kind of what it is. You're entertaining, dude. You know what I'm saying? What's it called? Your boy. What's it called? Captain Lou Albano. Yeah, girls want to have fun. He's dressed up all, like it's entertaining, dude. Like, whatever. That's kind of what it is. It's people, and just like I told you with the whole getting crazy about the whole Bad Bunny thing, and this is the right, and I showed you the left back in the 80s with Tipper Gore and Al Gore were crazy about the lyrics in albums and rock albums and devil worshiping and all that, which is all crap, and they wanted to put labels on it. And what did it end up doing? It ended up getting the bands to sell even more, because they brought more attention to it because they wanted to limit it. And that was the left that was doing it. And now we have the silly idiots on the right. So like I keep telling you, they're both silly idiots and they meet in the middle, in the back end. It's kind of like, it's all the same. It just is, it's just cycles, and it's all used as tools. And at that moment, the left was using it as a tool in the 80s, and now the right is using it as a tool now. It's just, but it's silly. I didn't fall for it then. I don't fall for it now. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just kind of ridiculous, but that's all right. That's all good. But good for Bad Bunny. And this is a guy that doesn't like reggaeton. I watched it because I watched it with my wife and daughter and all that. Although I'm glad I watched it because it was good to see what went on. Not that I gave a shit about the music, to be quite honest, because I don't like the music. But I did love Lady Gaga. You could show me Jessica Alba all day long. And it was just good to kind of and the message was actually it was a positive message. So, after all the BS, you go look at the trash that the conservatives put out there, and then you look at what supposedly was supposed to be out of control. Well, the message was way better on that one than it was with Kid Rock. He likes him young. They call it statutory. He calls it mandatory. It's kind of the way it goes with the kid. So anyway, great job by Bad Bunny. Great job by Bad Bunny. And great job by the right idiots in boosting them, like the left idiots did in the 80s. What else do we have going on? Dolphin ownership is inept as it gets. And today it took another step proving why it is inept. And I'll explain why. And and speaking of ownership, we were just talking about how the Marlins ownership has now, the Heat ownership has taken several steps back. Well, today Inter Miami was listed as the most valuable MLS franchise in the league at $1.45 billion. The LAFC is 1.4. The LA Galaxy is 1.17. It's funny how the two LA teams are right behind Miami. And then Atlanta 114 and NYCFC at 112. So Miami's leading the way at 145. They have now passed. Forbes has them at 105. Sportico has them at 1.3. Whatever it is, either way, Inter Miami has already passed the Marlins in value. And why I throw the Dolphins in all of this is that since this man bought the team, an expansion MLS team came to town and has already won an MLS Cup. Should have won two, because last year that was one of the most disgusting choke jobs in the history of South Florida sports. But hey, I digress. And then we had an ownership change in hockey, and all of a sudden Viola and Sifu turned that franchise around immediately, started to make the playoffs on a consistent basis, and made the Stanley Cup Finals now 3 years in a row and won the last two Stanley Cups. So during the time that Stephen Ross has owned the team, he has had several coaches, several general managers. He doesn't win in the playoffs at all, barely ever gets to the playoffs overall in his existence. And we're watching everyone else come in and have success. Even Mickey Arison, during his ownership, he was winning titles. Because the big three was during Stephen Ross's ownership. So you look at it, three of the teams have won titles during Stephen Ross's ownership. The Marlins we can't count because they don't have any money. They're broke. They'll never win anything as it is. They're trying to go the cheap route and try to land as many young guys as possible and hope that they all have magical years to put together. And, that they're trying to do the whole money ball without the money. And that doesn't work. Just ask the A's and the Rays. Do they win any titles? No, they don't win. They surprise every once in a while, but they don't win anything. But if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and all that. But this shows you that great ownership matters. And Mickey Arison used to be a great owner. He was a great owner. He's no longer a great owner. And he's proving it constantly because he doesn't know what he's doing. And Stephen Ross, since he's owned the team, has proven that he doesn't know what he's doing. The Moss brothers, they had no idea what they were doing. They were playing fantasy soccer and they were doing stupid stuff and they were doing illegal stuff and they got busted and they learned their lessons and then they figured it out and figured out the stupid system of the MLS. And here you go. And Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu got here and immediately took over the team and they started to figure everything out. That Dale Talon wasn't the guy. They went and got their guy who was a game changer. He hired the right guy who then hired the right coach. And then they found the right players, and the rest is history. What Dale Talon couldn't do, well, somebody else could. That's what great owners do. They get the people that can get the job done. Nothing else. That's it. And when you're watching you know that when Inter Miami gets into their new stadium next year, they will pass the Florida Panthers in value. Florida Panthers are around 1.7. They're at 1.45. When you add the new stadium, they're going to go to $2 billion. Easy. They're going to go to $2 billion because they'll have more seats, more people sold, more people for more sellouts, everything. It'll be just worth a lot more. And they're going to have more games there, more friendlies there and all that because it's their stadium. They're going to have all the tickets. So, you know, they're going to really take advantage of all of that. You know what I'm saying? So this is like, it's impressive what the Moss brothers have done. And here's the caveat to all of this. Major League Baseball did the Moss brothers an enormous favor. Because by denying them the right to buy the Marlins, they went and bought the soccer team. And the soccer team now is already worth more than the baseball team. And let's be honest, the Moss brothers are crazy and they love to spend and all that. But how can they compete with the Dodgers? You know how much money they would have to spend and risk in order to maybe possibly compete with the Dodgers? That would be difficult. But look at with Inter Miami. They got the team for less than $100 million. He got it maybe for half of that because that's what Beckham got it for. And then from there, they've turned it into $1.4 billion. And they're about to add a stadium to go to $2 billion. They're going to make more profit than they ever would with baseball. They don't have to put in the amount of money to get the amount of money out compared to everything else. So it's impressive as hell to watch what Inter Miami has done. It's impressive as hell to watch what Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu have done, but it's depressing as hell to see that Stephen Ross is rich or richer than these men, and yet he's so inept that he can't figure out a way to win in the NFL. He can't find the right GM. He can't find the right coach. And that's not to say, I'm not going to include Sully and Half in any of this. They're brand new to this equation. We got to give them an opportunity, but we have to go through the last 15, 16 years, whatever it is of his ownership. It's been an utter failure. It's been a disgrace. It's been an embarrassment. And here's the worst part. The Dolphins have regressed under Stephen Ross. They are a bigger joke than they ever have been. They've been involved with so many controversies and embarrassments. And, you know, listen, every team goes through some embarrassment, some kind of controversy. That's fine. Inter has gone through it. Miami Heat has gone through it. Every team's gone through all kinds of adversity or embarrassments or whatever. But what Stephen Ross has done, nobody else has done in town. Nobody's been busted multiple times cheating and thoroughly embarrassed and taken away high draft picks. You know, nobody's gone through like a Bullygate type of scenario and all that. You know, I get the Butler situation was pretty embarrassing for the Heat, but nothing like what's gone on with Stephen Ross. And today, watching what's gone on with Inter Miami, I'm super happy because I'm an Inter Miami fan. I'm happy for the Moss brothers. They're doing all the right things now. But I'm also disappointed with the Dolphins because it just proves that Stephen Ross, money's not everything. Harrison has money. He's inept now. Ross has money. He's inept. Viola has money. He knows what to do with it. Moss has money. He knows what to do with it. So it's really about the person running it, the person that's owning it. Do they know what the hell they're doing? Or don't they? And with Mickey Harrison, it's pretty easy. We saw back in the day he knew what to do because he and Riley, the system, they could manage that system. This one they can't. They refuse to take part in this system. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's funny because the way that Ira was talking about it, like, oh, it's sad that the Heat have to stump to that. Well, that's the game. This is not for the Heat to throw their nose up and say, oh, we're above that. No, dude, that's how the system's built. They've told you. Now, if you refuse to do it, that's your ignorance. Don't think that you're above this shit or anything like that. No, you're not, dude. You're not. And if you keep thinking you could get away the way you're not. And that's the same thing with Stephen Ross. Whatever you've been doing, it's been wrong. I give him credit at least. Now he tore it all the way down and he brought in a general manager that brought in his own head coach. Let's see if it works. But so far, Stephen Ross has been an utter failure. And Inter Miami proves again why he is a bad owner. All right. Remember, you can like the show there, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. That way you know when we go live, because sometimes we go on in the afternoon. Usually it's 10 in the morning, but a lot of times we, different sponsors. Tomorrow we're at Toyota of Hollywood, and we're on at 11 a.m. there, or noon there. Subaru's 11. Toyota's at 12. So tomorrow we're on at noon. So come on out and join us, man. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll know we are on. Remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation and send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of stuff. The market right now, Dow is up 90 points. The S&P is down 8. The NASDAQ is down 3%. 3 points. Wow. Not 3%, 3 points. Crazy. Let's see what else. And on the crypto side, Bitcoin, I think, is in the 69 area. Yes, it is still at 69,159. So it's at 69 or 70 right now. All right. There we go. By the way, did you see what Bad Bunny? He had a Via's taco stand performing in a Super Bowl halftime show. Did you see this? Via's taco stand. Today, thousands of people gathered outside Via's Tacos in Highland Park, increasing the local business. Now, Kid Rock can do the same thing. Okay? What? You're going to tell me that Kid Rock can't do this? Okay, if Kid Rock had a sexual health clinic in his video, they'd all be there checking their STDs. Thousands. Just thought about it. Bad Bunny can do it. Bring people to a business or food and increase their. I think Kid Rock with his audience can bring some awareness. Just saying. You got to think about these things. And when things make sense, they make sense. So, Kid Rock, you see Bad Bunny do some good, you should have done some good in your video. A health clinic would have helped a lot of people in your audience. Yeah. Because they were watching and scratching at the same time. Oscar Rojas is in the house. True Fin fan in, baby. TJ Superman. Think Blue Dodgers. Delvis. If the Dolphins make the Super Bowl, of course I'll be there. Whatever year they make it, of course I'll be there. For sure. Axis, let's see. Stormy, Stony Stanley in the house. Jaybird in. Amazed by the athletes at the Winter Olympics. Yes. And especially the skier, Sunny, or what is it? Sunny something, or what is it that has the nickname? She's good. She kicked ass again today. Let's see. Oscar says, Big O, I'm old like you. Whatever happened to the coffin corner punts? I haven't seen them on 15, 20 years. Breezy Johnson. That's it. Breezy Johnson. She's kicking ass, dude. That play was highly effective. And now you've seen punting to players that can take you one back for a TD. Why? Yeah. Well, I think, if you try to coffin corner, there's two guys. And it's like a shorter kick now. They can still catch it. But I get what you're saying. Still kind of corner them so you can at least kind of limit their options going in any direction. I totally understand that. And I agree with you that I think it is out of play. I do see it every once in a while in punting. But in this kickoff, it would be interesting to kind of do it in the kickoff, the way the kickoff is nowadays. Now, you got to be perfect because if you try to coffin corner and it goes out of bounds, 40-yard line too. So you better be really good at it, okay? Jamie Zoria out in San Jose, smashing it. Man of 1,005 holds. Jamie says, people showing their bias with this whole Bad Bunny thing. It's just entertainment and the right to express ourselves. It's the American way. Unless you're against me, it's embarrassing. Exactly, dude. You don't have to like it. I don't like reggaeton at all. But I do like Jessica Alba. So, you could show me reggaeton and Jessica Alba and I'll watch. Lisa Rose enjoying her Dodgers, kicking everybody's ass and taking names. Let's see. Jeff in Long Island is in there. What else? Skylar Tipton. Captain Saki, sick as a dog on my birthday, but still smashing the like button in Tarpon Springs. Happy birthday, Captain Saki. I hope you feel better, my brother. I hope that's the present you get feel better quickly. And have a shot of whiskey in our name. That might help you out a little bit with that cold, my man. Appreciate you as always listening, and I hope you feel better, man. And give Captain Saki a happy birthday out there on the chat board, all right? And don't forget to smash the like button, too, at the same time. Kid Rock's performance looked like a rehearsal. What a disaster. Yeah, but it's Kid Rock, dude. I mean, you want to associate yourself with Kid Rock? I'm telling you. Health clinic. True Fin Fan, 2066, you'll be 100, not 110. Math is my thing. I'm 59. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. I'll be 100. Well, there is a chance I could make it to 100, but I doubt it, but whatever. Could I move? Will I even know it's the Dolphins?
They'll just tell you it's the Dolphins.
They'll just tell me. The Dolphins play. Oh, really? Okay, great. They made it again this year. They won it again. Maybe when I'm so old, they'll just tell me that the Dolphins are winning the Super Bowl every year, and I'll just be happy. That's it. AI will be so good that they'll create fake Super Bowls in AI with the Dolphins winning, and I'm so old that I won't know what's real. So, that maybe there's a way that I can end with championships, even if, even if they're Central Florida-ish, I can still do it, I can still live it. Live the dream. Relentless is in. Compared to J-Lo and Rihanna, Bad Bunny was more decent. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. But I did like the J-Lo and Rihanna. And again, I didn't give a shit about the music. I didn't care what J-Lo or Rihanna were singing. I'm not really a fan of their music. I'm a fan of them. So, but of course, those people weren't going to complain about that. Yeah. Let's see. Brian Landis. John Padilla's checking in from the Bay Area. Cosa Nostra afternoon to you, sir. Juan Rosa. NorCal. It's still morning here. Amazing. Heat are stuck in the let's wait for the disgruntled star to come to us era. This is old hat, doesn't work anymore. I've been I've been saying that for every year that you're not getting this, you're not getting that, and you never get it. And you only got Jimmy Butler because of Dwayne Wade. And by the way, nobody really wanted Jimmy Butler. It wasn't like a whole bunch of teams were lined up to get Jimmy Butler or anything like that. So it's just really the Heat is a second-rate organization nowadays. There's nothing special about the Heat anymore, and that's sad. It's sad to say that, but that is the brutal honesty of the Miami Heat. It's a sad state of a franchise. This whole Bad Bunny situation just proves racism and xenophobia are no longer taboo topics. The orange Cheeto has made it mainstream. Yeah, right. He makes it comfortable to, normal for the people that are biased and hateful to just be biased and hateful openly like that. Yeah, that's how it is. Let's see. This shirt isn't as cool as today. Hey, Big O, the shirt isn't as cool as today. It's hard to do 2 6 shirts in a row. Really? You don't like this Kiss shirt? I think this is a pretty cool Kiss shirt, actually. I don't know, bro. I disagree with you. 35th anniversary tour. I don't know, dude. I think this is a pretty cool Kiss shirt. You don't really see this Kiss shirt a lot, actually. It's pretty cool Kiss shirt. I don't know, but whatever. I like it personally. Okay, Rock Bear, listening from the UK. Are the Finns going to win a playoff game by then? I hope so. I hope so. The bar's low for them. They just got to win a playoff game. Yeah, I know, right? If we win a playoff game, we'd be like pigs in shit. You know what I'm saying? It'd be awesome. NorCal says, since 92, I've only watched one halftime show. No matter who's performing, I'd rather puff give out back. No disrespect to any performers. Yeah. By the way, I freaking watched the Prince show again yesterday. God, that thing was good. Those women are dancing in the rain in some slick ass thing with 8-inch heels. I saw this whole thing where there were commercials at the beginning to promote it coming up, and then it was the performance, and then after was like a mini documentary on it. You've seen that?
I've heard about it.
It's there on YouTube. It's like only like 28 minutes long or something like that, 30 minutes, like the whole thing. And there's this I forgot the name of this Asian dude that's a comedian. He's like young in his career. He's in that commercial with Prince. And it's funny as hell. I forgot his name now. But anyways, he's a funny guy. And so I watched the performance, and it was cool to see because it's the old Dolphin Stadium. It's Joe Robbie Stadium at that moment. It's wide open and everything. And then the rain was relentless the entire time, and just Prince was so good, dude. So freaking good, man. He did, yeah. He did all along the Watchtower and everything. He did the little Jimi Hendrix, and so it was cool, man. It was really, really freaking cool. The Prince one, that's still the best. It's Whitney Houston will always be the best national anthem ever sung at a Super Bowl, and Prince will always be the best performance ever at a halftime in a Super Bowl event. Always. Period.
Yeah. And the fact, I mean, again, you couldn't probably pre-record that
No.
any better.
No.
Than that went off there without
the
rain
and the whole that whole silk thing that was going up in the air, and he's behind, and the profile and the shadow. Just everything was thought about because, like Prince said, he wanted to make it a performance. Oh, and they also show him doing a performance privately in a ballroom somewhere where people are gathered and all that. So you get like an extra bonus performance. Find the video on YouTube. It's really, really good, man. Really, really good. You will enjoy that. That's what I love about YouTube. I can go down so many rabbit holes of music. It's a beautiful thing, man. It really is. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate you all out there. Brian Nobles, thank you for the love on Cash App. Appreciate your generosity, sir. He says, thoughts on the Cats' chances realistically. I just talked about it a little bit ago. It's going to be hard, dude. Brian, I'm at a point where I think now it might be better for them not to make it. Like, I think this team is so beaten up and so many injuries have piled on top of the injuries all throughout the season. If it was only the injuries at the early part of the year and then you only had to recover, but throughout the year, you've lost more and more people along the way. It's just too many. They're so beaten up. I don't think they can do any damage in the playoffs right now. So I think what's better for them is to rest the entire offseason and come fresh next year and try to recapture that magic with their bodies fresh and all that. They've had 3 of the longest seasons and 3 of the shortest off seasons in a row. That's a brutal combination for their bodies. Time to rest. So unfortunately, I don't think they're going to make it because it's a toll. And if they do, I don't know how much they're going to have left to really have a punch. So I'd almost rather them take a step back this year. And I'm all right with that, dude. I'm all right with that. It's like, dude, you've earned it. It's all good. It's like the whole Heat thing. Like, oh my God, it's beyond us to take a couple. No, dude, you've kicked ass for 25 years. You've done a ton of winning. There's a whole bunch of banners up there. You send people to the Hall of Fame. You've won championships. You won a shit ton of conference and division. What more do you want? It's all right if you take a couple of steps back. The fan base should understand. And the Panther fan base, if they miss it this year, I think we'll all understand. I don't think we're going to hold it. It's not like they came out this year and looked like the Heat of 07 when they won it in 06. And then they come back and they're all lazy and overweight, and it was a disaster of a year. That's not what happened here with the Panthers. Injuries. They're human beings. And that sport is not for the human being. You're not supposed to play 82 games and 2 months of playoffs, and your body's supposed to be just fine. No, it's not, bro. No, it's not. So I don't understand this attitude that, like, the fans have to be, oh my God, it's below them that you have to take a step back. No, it is if you're the Marlins or you're the Dolphins when you don't accomplish ever anything. But if you're the Panthers or you're the Heat, we understand. We can understand. And I'm good. By the way, all your cooling and plumbing, they are number 1 in Florida, by the way. AC and plumbing, extended warranties, financing available, same-day installations, free repair estimates, 7-day-a-week service. And they do it now from Homestead all the way to Vero Beach. And we've got offices now on the West Coast in Naples. Give them a ring, 888-204-5554. Go to the website, allyearcooling.com. Over 350,000 satisfied customers. Tell them that Big O sent you. allyearcooling.com. Is he there? Not yet. Okay, because Furones is about to hit. He is. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend. David Furones. Let's go with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. There he is. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Feeling good. Another week at it. We just watched not so entertaining Super Bowl, but we move on now to officially the whole 2026 season, as the 2025 season is behind us. And that means pretty soon here we'll be looking into the combine and the draft, and before the draft, free agency. So a lot of exciting times to see what's in the future for the Miami Dolphins.
And I think that the Super Bowl proves once again that it's what I've been talking about. We got to stop doing things ass backwards. Oh, let's go get the quarterback. And then, oh, no, let's draft a quarterback. Okay, now we have a window. We are pressured. No. Go build the team, dude. Go build the trenches. And then go get your young quarterback or get a veteran. Because as you're watching, half of the Super Bowls in the last 10, 15 years are being won by quarterbacks that aren't necessarily great quarterbacks. So, you got to start saying, okay, outside of Mahomes and Brady, well, then, you've got the Trent Dilfers, you've got the Nick Foles, you've got the Hurts, you've got now Peyton Manning, you've got this dude now, that Sam Darnold. You start pointing at all the different guys that have also won. Okay, it's great to have the great quarterback. If you have them, fantastic. But if you don't, get the team first and then add it. If you happen to have the franchise guy, that superstar quarterback, that's fantastic. But if you don't have the superstar quarterback, just go build the team first. Then go get a competent guy to kind of just be the game manager.
What a great example the Seahawks are for all of that. A front office and a team really hitting on their draft picks. You see a lot of guys on rookie contracts. These players that they've groomed, developed. You see Devin Witherspoon going out there and making plays, and he was one of the top DBs in his draft class. You could go on and on with just Jackson
Philadelphia the year before that, dude.
Right, they're loaded up in the trenches. Yeah. The trench play. The secondary marrying the with their coverage being married and tied to what's going on up front. I mean, the Seahawks just whipped the Patriots at the line of scrimmage. That's where games are won. That's why the Miami Hurricanes in college football were able to make this run that they went on. It was winning in the trenches. So I think that's going to be an emphasis for the Dolphins under John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley. Is they see the importance in the trenches, and then. That's where you start your team. And then, now Sam Darnold, he might be an anomaly as far as just you can go pick up a free agent and have him do these things, leading a team as a quarterback. You're not just going to find that every year. But he still serves as an example that it can be done this way. And you just need that quarterback that's just good enough, that fits the system the right way, and complements everything else when it's built.
Rossini just reported that the Vikings are going to bring in competition for J.J. McCarthy, which is really code for we failed with McCarthy. We need to go get a guy because our window is closing. Our team is Super Bowl ready right now, and this idiot isn't ready, and that's why we fired our GM. And so now they're talking about Kirk Cousins, and that's exactly what we're talking about. If your team can dominate in the line of scrimmages, which Minnesota's pretty good at both lines of scrimmage, then you just go get that guy, and you're good enough, and you could go out there and get it done because you've got to win at the line of scrimmage. And you just said it, New England lost because they lost at the line of scrimmage. And part of the reason why was because two of their offensive linemen were rookies, dude. I mean, it's like, it's tough, dude. Your left and right tackle, your left and left tackle, left guard are rookies, and your quarterback's a second-year player. That's a lot to ask. Whereas Seattle was mature, ready to go, and the quarterback was already a seasoned guy because he's already been through his hell and back already, in his world. So it just looks like it was two different teams and in different levels of their maturation process.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Patriots were fortunate to be in the Super Bowl, get that far. We talked about it last time. Just the way the AFC, the way their schedule worked out for them, the way the AFC playoff bracket worked out for the Patriots, it was just perfect for them to get through. And then it was like all stars aligned to get to that point. And then they were just outclassed and outmatched by the Seahawks, who were a true contender, ready to win it all at this moment. And for the Patriots, hey, that's still very much ahead of schedule. Mike Vrabel, year one, they brought in a bunch of free agents, and obviously their defense for a lot of the season had been stellar. They were winning at the line of scrimmage a lot with like Milton Williams providing that interior pass rush, and Christian Gonzalez on the outside locking guys down, and they just had solid players at every level, at linebacker, everything. But eventually it's just caught up to them that they are just not on paper a team that's Seattle, where the roster is just loaded with depth at every position. If one guy goes out, like Jackson Smith and Jigba was hurt for a lot of the Super Bowl. He was hampered. He wasn't himself, and he didn't put up any kind of big numbers, but yet that team is just set up to be exactly that, a team that can pick up somewhere else on the roster. Like it was Kenneth Walker who stepped up in the run game, where again the Seahawks were dominating in the trenches on the offensive side as well as defensively. So you were able to pick it up with something else when your most talented player really was hampered.
Yeah. So to me, and this team, the two new guys talked about building from inside out. I hope that they follow through on that. And I hope that they don't go the route where, the silliness that we're hearing about, oh, go get Malik Willis. Why, dude? You're not going anywhere, and you're not even ready, and that kid's not ready, and you're going to pay him, and then he's going to go through hell. He needs to go to Minnesota. He needs to go to somewhere where they're ready, and they can protect him, and they can give him what he has in Green Bay, structure. That's how if Malik Willis is the kind of guy that if he goes to a place that doesn't have the structure in place and the culture in place, he's going to look terrible. If you have the structure in place and the culture in place and everything, he's going to have a better transition and a better chance of succeeding. You know what I mean? That's why I kind of compared him to Matt Flynn. You might be a little young, but I don't know if you remember, but Matt Flynn
I was in college when Matt Flynn had that.
Matt Flynn had a couple games with Green Bay, and then all of a sudden, I had Dolphin fans flooding the lines at QAM. Oh, we got to sign Matt Flynn. And I was like, no, dude, he's only played a couple games. Relax.
Yeah.
and then Seattle gave him all that money, and he was a failure for Seattle and a failure for the Raiders. And obviously they found Russell Wilson at the same time. And so Russell Wilson beat him out and everybody else. And then they traded him to the Raiders, and he did nothing. And so I just think it's not the time to go for if you really want to win and if you really want to build a culture, then do what you said, build from the inside out, and look at the NFL, dude. Look at the teams that were there at the end. All those teams could play defense, man. All those teams could dominate at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'll admit I might have been on the Matt Flynn bandwagon that year when I was a youngster in college, around there when that was going on. I was.
And you're still not listening to me. You didn't listen to me then, and you're not listening to me now.
Well, I'm listening. What did I say this time?
I'm just saying. I just had to throw it out there. You didn't listen to me and Matt Flynn. Well, I did tell you a couple times, this thing's over, and you were like, nah, you're a hopium and stuff like that. So we've caught you a couple times pumping that hopium and stuff. Where I tell my people, hey, yo, this season's done. I'm sorry, and the season was done. And last year, this season's over, and you were still pumping that hopium too. So we've caught you with that hopium a little bit there, okay? All right. So I'm just saying. No, but seriously, bullshitting aside, I just hope they follow through, and somebody does the opposite of what everyone else has done in the past. Oh, we got to go get that quarterback. No, dude, there's no hurry for that right now. There just isn't. That's all.
Do it the Packers way, which also includes finding multiple options that might work out at the quarterback position. Like they were the ones that had Matt Flynn as a backup quarterback, who then drew up this value from those games, like Malik Willis now is doing, as his value has skyrocketed. And if the market is what it is for Malik Willis, and that's true, then I don't see the Dolphins going and being a contender for his services. Only if it's like that you get him at what's a bargain compared to what everyone's talking about. then maybe you consider it. But aside from that, because I think Sullivan, more so than maybe being tied to him from Green Bay, would realize what he said in his introductory press conferences, that there are multiple avenues for player acquisition, and that also this team is not yet prepared to go in and strike in free agency. They need to get into a healthy cap situation first. So I think that would be a priority, getting into the healthy cap situation before you go and throw big money at a quarterback in free agency, when you're still going to have to pay off your previous regime's quarterback in terms of all the dead cap that Tua is going to take up this season. So
makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads me to my question, which I think you nailed it right there. Since you're not really going to be a big player in free agency, and I don't like talking about the draft more often than not, because I wait till free agency is done. Then I start to get a better feel for people where they're going to go in the draft, because now I see the holes that you filled and all that. But that's not going to be this year. You're not going to be big players in free agency. You're going to be bigger players probably in the draft more than, if anything, in free agency. You might be trading players to get more picks in the draft. You know what I'm saying? That's what you might be doing in this free agent move, is trying to create ways of getting more picks that you already have going in. So just as a little primer, just to kind of get your feel on it, because I'm sure you're kind of preparing for it already at the Sun Sentinel, what are you looking at? Because Miami has got they pick 11, 43, and then 3 in the third, 75, 87, and 90. First 3 rounds are starter rounds. That's considered the best rounds, where you're going to get starters in other rounds, of course, but what I'm saying is, in the first 3 rounds, that's considered the prime talent in every draft, and you should be able to find starters there. So Miami's going to have 5 chances to find starters there. What guys, what positions are you looking at? Where do you think it's stronger in one part of the draft than the other? And just, give me a couple names out there of things that you think they need so much, so it's all over the place. But, your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'll just go at it. And I think you nailed something there, which was frustrating with the past draft, was how you can find starters in that, like, say, 3rd round. And then the Dolphins, they had their first 2 picks, and they went to the trenches with them, like they did in 2024 as well. But then you had this huge gap where you didn't pick for, 100 selections. You went from a 2nd-round pick to a 5th-round pick. And it was kind of frustrating where, you're looking at cornerback that you didn't go in the 1st round. Everyone was talking about that between Will Johnson and the other kid, Jahdae Barron. And you didn't go that route in the 1st round. But then it's just, you don't have those picks to go and supplement that, somewhere else. You drafted Jason Marshall later, and he showed some flashes, Miami kid who can develop. But that was one thing where this year they do have that. You have those 3 third-rounders. So 5 picks in those first 2 days, then there's a lot you can do. First of all, in round 1, if either of those 2 Miami prospects, those top 2 Miami prospects, Francis Mauigoa or Ruben Bain, are still there, then I am rushing that card up faster than the Colts took Tyler Warren after the Dolphins pick.
But I don't think so. I don't think either guy.
It'll be right. Seems unlikely, but I see some of them where, like, they got Bain going to like 11. Maybe some have them at like 9, and then it's like you're where it's just out of reach. So if, let's say, he falls because people don't like his arm length or something, then which we see stories like that all the time. We've seen crazier things happen after the combine. So if something like that were to happen, then I'm rushing it for one of those 2, because Mauigoa, he already plays right tackle, which would symbolize you're moving off Austin Jackson at this point with a new regime. And if you have him and Patrick Paul at the left side, those are nice bookend tackles to solidify your future there, and you are set. But and if not, Ruben Bain, hey, if this defense, they're going to need edge rushers, and if you want to go with more 4-man fronts like the Packers did over there when Hafley was DC, and they had Sean Duggan as linebackers coach, then he's the guy who could play the traditional 4-3 defensive end, being coached by Jason Taylor at UM. So that would be a home run. But if not, I look at maybe a couple of corners in Mansour Delane out of LSU, Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. He's coming off an ACL, though. Or Ohio State safety Caleb Downs. I know this is
a hell of a player.
Yeah. And I know this isn't trenches like we're talking about, but you maybe could take that liberty from the previous regime's first 2 picks of the last 2 drafts coming in the trenches. When you talk about Kenneth Grant, Jonas Savaiinaia, the year before, Chop Robinson and Patrick Paul, that you can take some liberty in finding some DB solidifying the back end of the defense, which, by the way, the Packers, and because I was doing some research for a story I wrote today.
By the way, Phillips and Biggers, you're going to get one of those two guys. They're going to help you too, man. One of them is going to be a rotational guy, but I think one of those guys is probably going to end up being a really nice player overall.
Absolutely. No, I mean, Jordan Phillips is definitely tracking that way. He started a bunch last year. And Zeke Biggers can be that like run stuffing nose tackle, but and big field goal blocker too. So I mean, special teams can contribute there. But I looked into the Packers drafts of the past, and from 2014 to 2021, 5 of those 8 drafts, Green Bay went with a DB first. So as much as it's like emphasis on the trenches, then you can go find a player in the secondary that will also help your trench play when the back end is covering very well. But also edge defenders, like if
they also had problems with Jair Alexander contract issues and stuff like that during that time too.
Yeah. HaHa Clinton Dix was one of them during the years. You can find good players there that will help you there. But also if it's another edge defender, like if Arvell Reese or David Bailey, Keldrick Falk, if they're, I'm up for any of those because this team will need some edge rushers. And then as you go into the second round, sticking with maybe a little bit of my UM bias, but Akeem Mesidor is being talked about in the first round, but let's say if he drops, I see some mock drafts where he's in the second, then I'd be happy to take him there if you didn't get
for sure. But I don't think there's enough crack in the room to get them all the way down there. I just don't.
That's fair. Yeah. But if not, I mean, you could go with like a wide receiver, like Indiana's Omar Cooper, if he's out there. Maybe Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame, who's a big 6'4" target that would complement Waddle.
Please get me a big receiver. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Like look at what Puka Nacua does, man. Look what the guy with the Rams that is an old guy that he just won his second title, Cooper Kupp. Your big receivers are important, man, in this game. It helps your quarterback. It gives him a bigger target. We had an Oompa Loompa quarterback with Oompa Loompa receivers. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Even if you have a normal quarterback that is a target, give them big targets, bro. Big targets make it nice and easy for them. Big range. I'm with you, dude. If you can give me a big receiver, I'd be really, really happy for the Dolphins in there.
Yeah, and maybe second round is the spot for that receiver where if we think of all those Packers drafts, what was the one thing they always said is like they never drafted a first-round receiver for Aaron Rodgers. But maybe you do go and get your guy in the second round while you have so many other holes to fill with that first-round pick. Around then might be when if you didn't get a cornerback first, then maybe D'Angelo Pons out of Indiana, Miami kid, went to Chaminade. He wasn't the one who intercepted the last pass. That was Jamari Sharp, but D'Angelo Pons had that pick 6 against Oregon. Maybe you find a cornerback at that point as well. Or, then I'm also opening up to a lineman as well, even if it's an interior. Well, I mean, you want to go center because you have Aaron Brewer over there, but if it's a guard or one of the top
you have 3 third rounders, bro. I mean, you're going to have a variety there of even going for a lineman because you can find guards in the third round also. So corners, guards. I would imagine that's also going to be something looked at in the third round. They got 3 picks, man. That is sweet. 75, 87, and 90. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So I would love an O-lineman once you get to that third round. But also, if they fall in love with one of those other quarterbacks, once you get to round 3, if like Garrett Nussmeier, you really like him, and you have those 3 picks, so you it's not like you have this big gap afterwards. So, and we do know the Packers, they always would try to take a quarterback they like, find some value there. If it's a Garrett Nussmeier, I don't know, Drew Aller. I don't think Carson Beck would go that high, even though I did see one where they had him in the third round. I was a little surprised by that. But, maybe you do find one there. Or like, hey, grab a nickel like Keontae Scott. The plays he can make for the Canes this year. You saw that pick 6 against Ohio State. If he's projected to go around round 3, That would be awesome. But I remember seeing a Utah edge rusher, Logan Fano, around there. So if you're going to need those edge rushers, you could stock up with one there. I believe related to Spencer Fano, the Utah tackle who's going to go in the first round. So big time family there. But a lineman, definitely. Any one of the number of linemen that are probably going in that middle of the round, then that's fantastic there.
All right. The other thing I was going to ask you, and this is kind of a lower round question here, but did you look at the fullback and what offense they're going to use? Is Ingold coming back, and is this where you go get a young fullback in that third day somewhere and start to turn the corner there and save yourself a little money?
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing is Bobby Slowick did mention when he spoke to reporters that he does plan on using the fullback. So I think we'll really see that Shanahan-style offense that does incorporate the fullback like San Francisco does with Juszczyk and the Dolphins had under Mike McDaniel for 4 years where Alec Ingold was that player. And he's a Green Bay kid, just like Sullivan and Hafley come from Green Bay, and Bobby Slowick went to high school in Green Bay. So I would venture to believe they want to work with him. But there would be, I think it's like $3 million that you could save by moving on from him. The only thing is, how many fullbacks are there really? And I haven't looked in the draft to see if there's someone that can really play that role. But that would be an interesting point. But he's also he does so many of the intangible things. A leader in the locker room. I know I see you shaking your head, but
it's time, bro. It's time. It's time.
Yeah, I hear you.
Page, bro. I'm just saying, I haven't looked into the draft. I'm not going to bother for now. But if the fullback class is something interesting and there's some couple projects in there, and if you are going to incorporate that in your offense, then now's the time to do it, because this is the first year that you're installing everything. You want a young guy to grow into the system. So I'm just saying, you don't want to spend a lot of money there no matter what. And at this point, and he's had his share of injuries too. By the way, Alec has had his share of injuries. So I'm just saying, it's kind of one of those positions. And what's his cap number? You know what I mean? And you're about like shaving a lot of stuff off right now. And I just think that this is where you chew off some of the fat there.
I mean, it's an area where you could, but it's just how many fullbacks are there out there that
not a lot.
Not
a lot.
Offense.
Yeah. I haven't looked at the draft, but you've been in this business long enough to know that the draft nowadays has very few fullbacks.
Oh yeah,
very few.
I don't even know if you call it a class.
In fact, you find yourself going to get a big running back to then try to convert them to a fullback is what you end up doing sometimes. If you desperately need one and there isn't one, you have to go find one and convert one, which is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
Like, wasn't that the story with Najee Davenport?
Yeah, the crap master was they tried to do that with the crap master. Yes, definitely. What?
Wait,
what? It's what he is. He's the crap master. Anybody that sneaks into somebody's room in the middle of the night and leaves a deuce inside their laundry basket, you're the crap master.
I'm not sure I know this story.
You don't know about Najee Davenport? Drunk at the U, and in the middle of the night, he was so drunk he walked into somebody else's dorm, a girl's dorm, and he took a dump right into her hamper.
No way. I had never heard that story. I was young when that team was doing its thing, so I mean I watched, but I don't know if that story got around to me.
You weren't listening to the show.
Man.
So Najee Davenport, the crap master. Yes, of course. You have the story there, Sean. You want to read it? Sean's going to find it for you, so we can reminisce. We can. We can go down the brown alley.
I can't believe we got to this by talking about Dolphins fullbacks. We reached Najee Davenport, and then now we're on this story.
You brought up
the free flow. I like the free flow of
you brought up Najee Davenport, and he dumped crap. Well, I have a lot of crap in my head, and it just comes up. Go ahead, Sean. Read the story. Tell them that.
It says in 2002, Najee Davenport was involved in a widely reported incident where he broke into a Barry University dormitory in Miami, Florida, and defecated in a female student's laundry basket. The incident on April 1st, 2002, a female student, Mary McCarthy, woke up around 6 a.m. to a strange noise in her dorm room where she found Davenport squatting in her closet and defecating into her laundry hamper. Davenport was arrested in July of 2002 and charged with second-degree burglary and criminal mischief. He avoided jail time by entering a plea bargain, agreeing to complete 100 hours of community service. Despite the plea, Davenport maintained his innocence, famously stating, "Where's the evidence? Where's the manure? I know I didn't do it. I just wanted to get it over with."
Oh, man.
By the way,
the bizarre incident.
You know what? I forgot that it was breaking into a dorm in Barry, not the UM.
Barry, yeah.
Here's the aftermath. The bizarre incident earned Davenport the nicknames Dookie and the Dump Truck throughout his NFL career.
Yes.
Okay. And you had a third one there. So.
I've always called him the Crap Master. Always. From the day it happened, I called him the Crap Master. And he's the Crap Master because, I mean, that was masterful. How old were you in 2002?
I was turning 12 later on. So I was still 11.
Yeah, it's 11-year-old is not really looking up a story about Najee Davenport dumping in somebody's hamper. Yeah.
No, that one didn't quite reach me. You know, I was in on the highlights. You know, love watching Philip Buchanan go and return for touchdown. Ed Reed, pick sixes and all that. Jonathan Vilma light up those Nebraska players in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, we've had some memorable things happen down here, and they're all in here. They're all in here from the last 59 years. Anyway, all right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Don't forget our friends at Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. Homeowner property damage, bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, personal injury. Call my guy, Dan and Jeff. The consultation is completely free. Jeff will tell you if you have a case. And if not, they're so good, they'll lead you to somebody else that can help you. If they don't happen to help you in this area that you had an issue with, they'll probably know a lawyer that can help you, man, which is amazing. They're good people, man. They're just amazing people. They're in Hollywood, and a lot of our listeners have already called and have had a lot of success with Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom over the last 6 years. 954-966-4646. The consultation is completely free, so you can explain your situation, and they'll tell you if you have a case. David, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, actually was just writing and just published a story on Dolphins' outlook in the secondary. Used a lot of interviews that with the team's impending free agents at corner and safety right before the season ended on locker cleanout day and such. So finally got a chance to circle back on that. So looking into draft possibilities in the secondary where Jeff Hafley's background is coaching DBs, so this will be an area of emphasis. So, you know, what we think about Rasul Douglas, Jack Jones, Ashton Davis, the draft at cornerback and safety. So check that out. And later on this week, I'll be looking into checking out some draft prospects at Pete Bomarito's down here.
Nice. The psycho.
Yeah.
the psycho trainer.
Right.
There's nobody more intense than I mean it all with love. Pete is a good dude, but he is intense, bro. Oh, that is one intense dude. You send your kid there, or you're an athlete, you go there, you're gonna get in shape with Pete. That's for damn sure, dude. He's gonna
That's why he churns out these prospects that kill it at the combine with those 40 times.
He's a badass.
I'm gonna go find some of those in this year's class.
No doubt. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. By the way, how was that Kid Rock halftime show? Because I know that's what you were tuned into.
No, I was watching Benito.
Of course you were watching Benito.
Yeah.
Everybody was watching Benito. Anyway, follow him on Twitter, David Furones _. We'll catch you on Friday, my brother. Thank you.
All right, sounds good.
You got it. And visit our friends at Welton Rayom. They will take care of you. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker on Venmo. He goes, just heard your comparison of the halftime shows. You're a blind-ass fan. First of all, I'm not a fan because I don't like reggaeton. So you got that wrong already, Stephen. So that's one. One thing I agree with is there's no comparison to the message. Bunny Foo-Foo message was divisive and profane. So love over hate is profane. People getting married is profane. Okay, all right. The Kid Rock was inclusive, inviting people to find peace with God. Yeah, don't think you listen to Kid Rock's lyrics, but that's all right. That's all right. But I appreciate it, Stephen. You know what I mean? It's all right. I'm not a fan of Kid Rock. I'm not a fan of Bad Bunny, either one. You know what I'm saying? But, give me a break when it comes to Kid Rock. But, hey, bro, listen. To each his own. If that's your choice, you go for it. Knock yourself out, man. I can't help you there. Oh, man, that's funny. That was funny. Thank you for the joke there, Stephen. Appreciate it. The Panthers have become the hunted. Everyone, even the weaker teams, has beaten them. Yeah, no, it's just that they're worn out, dude. They've got way too many injuries. Way too many injuries. I thought Cooper Kupp was like 5'10". He's 6'1". To me, he looks shorter on TV. I had no idea. Yeah, no, he's a lanky receiver. Let's put it that way. Miami needs multiple picks. Ideal year to trade down in the first round. I haven't looked at it that good, but we'll see. Big O, you have to give it to the Marlins. They're a great farm team for the rest of the MLB, developing players and trade for. Yes, that is true. They are a great farm team for the majors. That is fantastic. Evangel, I guess he wants to be funny of how Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin's doing fantastic, bro. I know you don't know anything about it, and I know you're trying to be funny, but I'm loving this, dude. I have no problem with dips. I know where we're going when it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's doing fantastic. I get to stack more for less money right now, which is a super blessing. And eventually when it takes off, I won't hear from you ever again. Like it happened when it's down 15 to 16,000. People were like, oh, Bitcoin. And then I didn't flinch then. You think I'm going to flinch now when we're hanging around 70? No, dude, I'm not worried about it. I know that the lack of education is what's trailing all of this. And you're a fantastic example, Evan, of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's doing fantastic. Let's see. Yeah, I agree, Brian. That was a shitty story we were talking about with Davenport. How many of you, by the way, that are watching on the chat did not know that story about Najee Davenport? Just out of curiosity, like right now, the people that are watching, how many of you did not know the story about Najee Davenport? Because I was kind of taken aback a little bit, but then I'm thinking about it. You said the year 2002. I don't realize that this was 24 years ago. It was a quarter century ago that Najee Davenport dropped the deuce in someone's hamper. And by the way, I forgot that it was at Barry University. That makes it even more legendary. I confused it with UM. Like, okay, he got confused what dorm he was in, the door, maybe the number was the same, but he was in a different building or whatever. You're drunk off your ass. I mean, who shits in a hamper? Only a drunk person. This is so legendary. This guy went to Barry University to shit in somebody's hamper. The story, the legend grows. And back then, you weren't thinking so much DNA. So she was like, ew, and she probably threw it all away. Oh, man. Let's see. Havana Lou, I did not know. Jeff in Long Island didn't know. Brian says, I've heard you tell that story before a few years back. Oh, okay. So he only knew because I told the story a few years back. Okay. Yeah, no, there will be no mock draft. I'm not doing any mock drafts. No. I'll have some fun and I'll guess who they'll pick at number 11 the day of the draft, day before, whatever, just to have a little fun with it and all that. But I'm not going overboard. Dude, we're in a rebuild. And I told you guys I'm not doing what I've done for decades past, that I'm all on board and going crazy about the draft and all that. No, dude, it's all wait and see now. It's all wait and see. I'm not even going to get excited about the team. I'm not going to get excited about any of these coaches and GMs or nothing. When they start winning on a consistent basis, then I can start to get excited. But outside of that, they need to earn my trust now and excitement. I'm no longer mortgaging my emotions anymore, or money or anything, to be quite honest. So we're going to tell you that I can't do, So that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of burnt. They have done it to me, unfortunately. Let me do a little music, by the way. Let me get to some music here. Might as well. Tomorrow we are at Toyota of Hollywood. We'll be there starting at noon. Okay. Just want to make sure you guys know this. Okay. Let's go with musicians born on this date. All right. Let's start it off. Here we go. Born on February 10th, Cliff Burton, Metallica bass player, killed on September 27th of 1987 when the tour bus crashed. He was born on this date in 1962. Norman Harris, guitarist, songwriter, and producer, worked with the Delphonics and the Tramps. He was born in 1958, died also in 87 of a heart attack on March 21st. Let's see who else. Not a super strong list so far. Jimmy Merchant, singer with the Puerto Rican doo-wop band Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. Yeah. A Puerto Rican doo-wop band. Could they survive today's world like a Puerto Rican doo-wop band? Yes, they'd like that. Boy, they'd be criticized. Oh, okay, here we go. Roberta Flack, born in 1937. She's so good. First time ever I saw your face. Let's see what else. Here we go. Let's go with famous people born on the 10th. It was in a strong list for musicians, a few, not a ton. All right, remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed. Jimmy Durante, born in 1893. Let's see. Actor Lon Chaney. I am a vampire. Lon Chaney Jr., born in 1906. Let's see who else. Actor Robert Wagner, born in 1930. He is 96. Did he get away with murder? Let's see. Swimming Hall of Fame member Mark Spitz, born in 50. He is 76. Greg Norman, the Shock Hall of Fame member, born in 55. The Choker is 71. I'm sorry, he's 71. Did I say? I shouldn't have said that. George Stephanopoulos, born in 61. He's 65. Filmmaker Alex Payne, born in 61. He's 65. TV commentator Glenn Beck, born in 64. He's 62. Actress Laura Dern, born in 67. She's 59. Actress Elizabeth Banks, born in 74. She's 52. We continue with actor Trevante Rhodes, born in 90. He's 36. Actress Emma Roberts, born in 91, 35. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers, sir?
Yes, sir, we do. Bolton Oleg turns 33. Bryce Donovan is 28. Gentleman Chris Adams was born on this date in 1955. Kevin Matthews turns 43. Louis Piccoli, gone way too soon, was born on this date in 1971. Taiji Ishimori turns 43. And WWE Diva Victoria, she turns 55 on February 10th, 2026.
All right. Okay. Let's go with music history. What happened today in music history? I know you're all wondering this. Well, in 58 on this date, Frank Sinatra started a 5-week run at number 1 on the U.S. album charts with Come Fly With Me. In 62, Henry Mancini went to number 1 on the U.S. album charts with the soundtrack to Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's his most recognizable song, being Moon River. Let's see. In 71, the great Carole King released her second studio album, Tapestry. It's one of the best-selling albums of all time with over 25 million copies sold worldwide. If you don't have that album in your collection is incomplete. Sorry. If you don't have Carole King in your life, you're just not musically enriched. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, the lead singles from the album, It's Too Late, and I Feel the Earth Move, spent 5 weeks at number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 Easy Listening charts. In 2003, Tapestry was ranked number 36 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. Number 36, 500 greatest albums. That means if you have 37 albums in your collection and she's not in it. Anyway, in 73, Elton John had his first UK album when Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player started a 6-week run at the top of the charts. Woo. Diana Ross in 76 released her 7th studio album and my favorite song in her catalog, the single from the theme of Mahogany. Do you know where you're going through? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? In 78, Van Halen released her self-titled album, the lead single of the cover, the King's classic, You Really Got Me. In 79, Rod Stewart started a 4-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Do You Think I'm Sexy? His 3rd U.S. number 1. In 84, Frankie Goes to Hollywood were number 1 on the UK singles charts with the 3rd week of Relax, Don't Do It. Eurythmics had the UK number 1 album with Touch. In 2004, El Loco, rapper Kanye West released his debut studio album, The College Dropout. It features Jesus Walks. He now wants to apologize, by the way, for being anti-Semitic and hateful and disgusting. And he says he was off his meds. Now he's on. Forgive me. Okay. In 2008, Amy Winehouse won 5 prizes at the Grammy Awards, including Song of the Year, Record of the Year for both the singles of Rehab and Best Artist. She was not in attendance that night, but she did perform via satellite from London. In acceptance to her speech for Record of the Year, Winehouse thanked her record label, her parents, and my Blake incarcerated, referring to her husband. Winehouse died of alcohol poisoning in 2011 at the age of 27. In 2009, Dan Auerbach released his debut solo album, Keep It Hid. It features I Want Some More. And in fact, the Black Keys, which is Dan Auerbach's band, him and his brother, they just announced a new tour, and they're coming to the Hollywood Sportatorium. Jesus Christ, I was going to say that. I was going to say Hollywood Sportatorium. Oh, man, the Hard Rock in Hollywood. And I've seen them several times. If you haven't seen the Black Keys, they're really, really good, by the way. just in case. Now they have a full band. Okay, I used to see the first couple times I saw them, they were only two people. Remember the first time I saw them at the Fillmore, it was just two guys, and it was just like a big ass sound. But anyway, great stuff. Let's see, what else do we have? Rag and Bone released their debut studio album on this date in 2017, Human. It features the singles Healed, Human, Skin, As You Are, and Grace. Let me see if there's any birthdays that weren't on the other list. Jerry Goldsmith, creator of the score for Star Trek, Planet of the Apes, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and Dr. Kildare, among others, was born today in 1929. Very cool. Did not know that. And let's see what else. That's it. That's what happened today in Musica history. Devo, by the way, for you lucky bastards out there in New York, you are very fortunate because Devo is extending their tour, and New Yorkers are getting 2 dates at the Capitol Theater in Port Chester, New York on June 9th, and at the Borgata Casino and Event in Atlantic City on June 12th. They're doing an 80-minute show, 17 songs, and they're performing a lot of their classics. So that's actually really, really good. They are, let me see where they're at right now. They started April 3rd at the Hard Rock Live in Sacramento. They don't come to Florida, by the way. The closest to us here in Florida, no, it's mostly West Coast. California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Indiana, then Ohio, Ontario, Canada, New York, Maryland, New Jersey, Connecticut, Green Bay. Oh, no, Green Bay. No, it stops in Connecticut. Then they go overseas. That's it. So just in case, if you're a Devo fan, you will get extra dates. For those of you in Vegas, Duran Duran is getting a residency there at the what is it? Fountain Blue, Las Vegas, May 2nd, 6th, 8th, and 9th. So if you happen to be a Duran Duran fan and you're going to Vegas, baby. Big O, my dog Max started to bark when you started to sing. Well, I don't blame him. No, stop. I don't blame him. Max. Hi, Max. Good boy, Max. Max is a beautiful dog. Great heart. Let's see, what else do we have? Big O, Sam Darnold had 0 turnovers in the playoffs. Yeah, dude. And I even bet on Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks. These are things that I never thought I would do. Okay, I don't think I would ever count on Sam Darnold in a big moment, but I have to give the man credit. When you deserve it, you should get it. Okay? And so, very deserved. So, good stuff by them, and I'm glad I won. I was only pissed about the one thing that I wanted New England to get the ball early at the first and then drive down and be able to double my bet, because I had conviction that Seattle was going to control this baby from beginning to end. And that's exactly what they did. So I love that. Anyway, we are out of here, folks. We appreciate it. We thank, of course, Mr. Brunetti making it all happen. Steve can't be with us. I know he's in some meetings. We'll see him on Friday. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. We thank David Furones. Appreciate all of you for tuning in, hitting the like button. We shall see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.